From one of TF2's most prized items going missing, to weapon skins that are impossible to obtain due to a bug, a so-called cursed hat that marks any individual who buys it as a scammer, and a TF2 player that owns 15% of all vaccinators in the entire game. This is a collection of 8 TF2 anomalies, entailing rare occurrences, unique items, and multi-year ongoing mysteries. When picking workshop submissions to add to the game, Valve typically only checks the front page, meaning that in a given update, most items added are uploaded within a year of being picked, which makes it all the more perplexing that the Tribe of Neophorus Gentlemanus, an item posted in October of 2013, was added in Scream Fortress 2024, a whole 4,003 days later, which as far as I've seen, is the longest ever duration from creation to addition for a workshop item. What you are looking at here is a weapon that can't exist due to faulty strings in the files. This is the Tiger Buffed Warpaint, one of the 4 Warpaints in TF2 colloquially known as the Gradient Warpaints. They are characterized by having a large degree of randomness in how they look from one another. The way this is done is by multiplying a portion of a designated color gradient to 2 of the textures on the Warpaint. The size of the selection box and where it could potentially land depends on the values of the variables multiply layer scale and multiply layer translate. So let's take a look at Tiger Buffed and figure out the coding error that makes purple impossible. The gradient texture is 2048 by 2048 pixels, the scale is set to 0.025, and the translate value is set to 20. Our selection box is 51 by 51 pixels, since our scale is 1/40th of 2048. First, the game generates a random number between 0 and 0.025, so let's assume in this case the generator rolls the highest number. With the resulting number, the game then multiplies it by the translate value. Finally, it multiplies that result by 2048, which equals 1024. The final number here determines where the left edge of the box is placed, and you might see the problem here. Because the translate value maxes out at 20, the furthest the selection box can move is halfway across the gradient, plus an extra 51 pixels for the remainder of the selection box, meaning that 75% of the gradient is off limits to be selected, literally defeating the purpose of putting those tiny purple and white boxes on the gradient. The fix for this would be as simple as changing those translate strings to 40 instead of 20, but according to individuals who have emailed Valve before, they refuse to fix the bug. We are talking about the same devs who refuse to fix the water waders because people might like it that way. On the bright side, only selecting from the top left does greatly increase the chances for the expression of black, which is generally regarded as being the best color seed for their respective warpaints, and huge thanks to Pyogre for helping me understand how the gradient selection works. Most people know about spelled items in TF2, as both their price and demand has surged in recent years. This has led to many players over the years requesting their return. Workshoppers have even created new ones in the hopes that Valve would randomly decide to add them back one day. But one group of individuals who likely want spells back more than anyone else are people with unapplied spells. All unapplied spells were supposed to be deleted after late 2015, but if you simply never launched the game, they remained. In this way, spells are similar to Schrodinger's cat, as they simultaneously exist and don't exist, and we only know until we open the game to check if they are there. To this day, there are players holding out on opening the game, just like how 97% of you are holding out from subscribing. Don't think I don't see your ass. There are 4 skin collections from the Gunmetal and Tough Break updates that could only be obtained via completing contracts. This is significant because it means they were only obtainable for a 3-month time window and did not drop in strange quality either, so the only guaranteed way to get the higher grade skins in strange quality is via trade-ups. First, you would apply 10 civilian stat clocks to 10 civilian weapons from the desired collection to make them strange. Those 10 weapons would then trade up to a strange freelance grade weapon. Repeat that 9 more times for a strange mercenary grade weapon. Then repeat all of the previous steps another 9 times to be able to complete the trade up for a strange Commando grade contract collection weapon. There is an additional layer of RNG to all of this, as the Commando grade weapon you were given was random. Despite that, the community has managed to acquire a strange factory new version of every contract collection Commando grade weapon from over the years, except for 2. The strange factory Boneyard Wrench, the lesser notable of the 2, and the strange factory new top shelf minigun, the much more notable and expensive of the 2. Both do not exist, despite many attempts to get them. For the minigun especially, it is looking bleak. as the supply of the lower ranking weapons is only dwindling as time goes on. Due to this, the prices for civilian grade weapons from the Craftsman collection have absolutely soared, so unless someone wants to spend 5 figures buying 1,000 of these weapons and 1,000 stat clocks for a trade up, it will likely never exist. You are probably familiar with TF2's Festive Weapons, the Christmas-themed remakes of various TF2 weapons, unboxable in the now retired Naughty Crate series. In the 2011 Naughty Crate specifically, there was the Festive Bat, and what is unusual about the Festive Bat is that it was only ever unboxed in strange quality, which makes absolutely no sense. According to Backpack.tf, at least 105 unique quality versions exist. But from the community's anecdotal accounts, nobody has ever seen these in-game or for sale. Looking at the stats on trade status gives a hint as to why, as we see that 109 of the Festive Bats in existence are untradeable. Filtering it further, 105 are uncraftable, while 4 of them are. So 105 unique quality Festive Bats exist, and 105 are also untradeable and uncraftable. It is pretty well known that Valve gives unique untradeable and uncraftable copies of every item to employees. Look at any Valve employee backpack, and you will see a unique Festive Bat, likely being the work of an automated system, but at least we know where they are. There are a variety of hats in TF2 that have gone missing under unknown circumstances. One of the most intriguing examples of this is a Venonata Crone's Dome. This is because the hat hasn't been seen on item trackers since April of 2017. Most hats that go missing usually reappear not long after, so for one to go on nearly 9 years is an anomaly. What you are looking at is one of the 73 backpacks owned by Lucy, a TF2 collector who does nothing but buy vaccinators. While item collecting isn't necessarily a crazy concept in TF2, none of them are anywhere near as ridiculous as her collection. She owns a total of 290,000 unique quality vaccinators, which is literally 15.6% of all the vaccinators that exist in TF2. Due to her suddenly buying so many of them, the price of the vaccinator has been sitting at 1 refined for the past 3 or so years, which is 20 times what a unique quality weapon normally costs. So with 72 accounts filled to capacity with vaccinators and an inflated price of 3.5 cents, the collection of unique quality vaccinators alone is worth over $10,000. As to why she started collecting them, the vaccinator is just her favorite weapon, which is probably the first time that sentence has ever been uttered by a human being. While her vaccinator bot isn't open at the moment, she has a Discord server where she sends out pings for when it's open, so do the TF2 community a favor and get rid of your vaccinator. The level 3 Burning Flames team captain is a TF2 hat that is said to be cursed, as a multitude of individuals on his owner history have been marked as scammers on SteamRep after acquiring the hat. If you didn't know, SteamRep is a now defunct website that functioned as a sort of database for scammer reports, and one way to get marked as a scammer is actually to trade with another marked scammer. Nobody really knows who Patient Zero was, as that information is lost, but over time as the hat was duped and traded, SteamRep marks spread like wild. As of today, 3 of these cursed team captains sit in trade ban backpacks, one of the most tragic wastes of TF2 items ever. And if you want to learn more about tragic item waste, check out the videos on your screen now.